Hi, I'm Allie. Join me as I show you how to do this Freedom Bracelet featuring the red, white, and blue. If you need any materials to make this, go ahead and look below the video in the description. We put links there to get back to our website. Gather everything up you need and let's get started. So for this project, it was inspired by a Facebook Live where we did multi-row right angle weave and showed how to embellish that. We're going to be doing a multi-row bracelet here. You can do earrings, you can do bracelet. I started out, I was going to make a pair of 4th of July earrings. I decided to make this Freedom Bracelet. Our blue lines are going to be the ones that sit on the vertical, up and down. Horizontal are going to be our red lines. We are creating right angle weave and we are doing multi-row right angle weave. So there's two ways to do this. You can kind of go up and down and then across, or you can keep kind of going across either way. I'm going to show you initially how to do this so that way you learn the multi-row right angle weave faster, that we're going to go up and then come back and kind of zigzag as we're creating. I have two colors of 11 O's, so that way it's easier for you to start to learn that right angle weave if you're a beginner. I have size 6 dragon thread in white. And the first thing that I'm going to do is reach over and grab a bead that's not part of my project, and I'm going to put it onto my thread and needle. We will be embellishing this bracelet with our crystals, so I don't need to leave a ton of tail at the end. I'm going to go back up through that same gold bead once, and we're going to go through twice to create that right angle weave. Or sorry, to create that stop bead. From here, we are going to start our right angle weave. We're going to do 3 drop right angle weave. So each side of our right angle weave is going to be 3 beads. I like this size because it gets bigger a little bit sooner, and also you can actually see what's happening. So right now on my needle and thread, I have blue, red, blue, red. The blue again is going to be the ones that are laying straight up and down as we wear our bracelet, and the red is going to go across. I'm going to sew back through my blue, red, blue, and come out before the last 3 red. Going to turn that on its side there. And again, we're going to kind of go with multi-row. So when you're learning, it's easy to go with 1 row or 2 rows or 3 rows and kind of keep creating. I'm going to have to do that same thing, but I do want you to learn how to do the multiple rows. So what I'm going to do is I want to go again down through the red. You're going to come out right next to the stop bead, and we're going to go down versus across. To go down, I want you to pick up 3 blue beads, which are going to be the left side of the box. I want to pick up 1, 2, and 3 right beads, or 3 red beads, which would be the bottom of the new box, and 1, 2, 3 blue beads to be the right side of the box. We already have the top of the box, which is our red bead here, and we're going to sew back through that red bead. And when I say red bead, I mean the groups of 3. You're always doing all 3. We're going to go down then, so we're coming out the next red set. Through the blue, along the side here, and then through the red. Through the red, we're set up again to do another box. So we're coming out of the red, and we're going to add 1 and 2 and 3 blue, 1, 2, and 3 red, 1, 2, and 3 blue. We're going to sew back into the red that our thread was coming out of to complete our box here. And look, that gets you your box. Now, we don't need to go more than 3 rows long. We're going to go through the blue here, and we're going to build on to the side. So you can keep going if you want to, turning it kind of to the side and building. Again, I want you to learn that right angle weave. Now when you're talking about this in the multi-row, you need to connect the next row. So we want basically column number 2. You can see I'm coming out the right side of the bottom box of column number 1, the first floor. We're going to add the second bottom. We're going to add the right blue, and we're going to add the top of the second unit, first floor. So I'm going in then to the blue beads that my thread are coming out of. I'm going to go through the red, up through the blue, and I need to build my next box. So I'm coming out here. If I go straight across right now and build that blue wall up, I actually am going to show some thread. It's not going to be legit right angle weave. Instead, what we're going to do is we always want to sew in a figure 8. We're going to go through our red beads. We're going to go up through our blue beads. And then we're going to kind of look. So we want to create this next box. I'm going to turn it on its side here. I already have the blue beads that are on one side. I already have the red beads that are on the other side. I'm going to do red beads to 3 red beads to complete that top, and I'm going to do 3 blue beads to complete the right side. We're going to sew back into that same unit that we're working on, back into the red, up through the blue, and then again, figure 8. I don't want to go straight through those blues. I want to always kind of be going on that right angle weave. I always want to turn a right angle and take my thread that way. Now when you look here, I have my base, I have my left side. I just need my right side, which is going to be my 3 blues, and I need my top, which is my 3 reds. So down through the blue and over to the red. That connects and finishes off that box. Every right angle unit, you want to make sure that there are right angle threads so that they're turning 90 degrees here and connecting all of those beads. Now I'm coming out in the middle here and you're like, I need the bracelet to keep building. So to keep building, I'm going to go through the blue there at the top. And then I'm going to create my next box. So some people will go that they'll create the whole top row first, and then they'll come in and create the whole bottom row. The reason that I'm showing you this way is because you can control the length a little bit better, that you don't need to know exactly how long it's going to be. I'm coming out of the blue, so I know that I need to add red, then blue, then red. I'm going to go back into the blue that my thread is currently coming out of. I'm going to go through the red that I added. I'm going to go through the blue that I added. And then I'm going to look at it and say, okay, how do I build my next box? So to build the next box, I need to do that figure 8, always right angle weave turns. I don't want to add any beads here because that's not that 90-degree turn. I'm going to go through the red. And then look, my one side of my box is already there, so don't overthink it. I'm going down through the left side of the box that's already going to be there. And I'm going to add my bottom of the box I'm working on and the right side of the box. Up through. And at the same time, I'm going through the red top and the blue because I know I need to do that. And then I'm going to go 90 degrees out through the red. 90-degree turn again. 1, 2, 3 blue beads. 1, 2, 3 beads for my red. Back up and connecting to the other side. Again, doing that right angle weave turn. Through the top of the box. And I need to get out to be able to build more onto my bracelet. So how am I building more into my bracelet? Again, always right angle turns. So 90-degree turn puts me down the blue side. And now I'm ready to add. I'm going to add my bottom for my next one. I'm going to add my right side. I'm going to add my top. Come back down through that blue. And now I need to get into here. So I'm going to go the whole way around, going through the red, going through the blue. Again, always that figure 8 or that 90-degree turns in your thread. Go through the red there, because I can't go straight up because that's not a 90-degree turn. I'm going to go through the red, through the blue that's already there, because those are both part of my next box that I need to add. And then I need a new top, and I need a new right side. And I'm going to circle around. If you have trouble with right angle weave, I have videos that are specifically just to learn right angle weave. This is kind of that next step where I'm showing how to build lengthwise versus, or how to build the units lengthwise versus just building one whole long row. But if you are confused by this, one whole long row works. And then check out one of the other videos we have and check that out for doing the multi-row right angle weave as well. I'm going to keep going here, and eventually I'm going to get to the point where I need to put on my clasp and I want to embellish. So when I want to embellish and put on my clasp, I'm going to have a good idea then how long my bracelet is going to be as I lay it You can see here I can go in actually and add these two together with some red bars. So I'll do that as well too to get some length. And I'm going to keep going the whole length of my wrist. So depending on your length of your clasp and your wrist, you're looking probably at about almost 7 inches of your right angle weave. Sometimes I pre-make bases, so I just have a base sitting here of my bronze as well too. You can see I want it long enough that it's going to go around my wrist, and then I have space for my clasp also. So keep creating, doing your red as your top and your blues as your sides. Do you want to get over $100 of premium beads for only $34.99? The new and improved PotomacBeads Treasure Box is a beautiful assortment of high-quality beads featuring both classic and new materials. As a monthly subscriber, you'll save up to 60% off retail prices. Get your Treasure Box subscription today for only $34.99 and $100 worth of beads. Visit PotomacBeads.com/subscribe or click on the link in the description. Because I have these two pieces to put together, I figured I would show you in case you start over or start with a new piece of thread. Basically what I'm doing is joining these two sections together. I'm coming out of the bottom of that blue left side. I'm adding the bottom 3 beads. I'm going to go into the new section of right angle weave. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3 new red beads for the top. And then I'm going to come back down through the blue that my thread was originally coming out of. So you see with right angle weave, you can make it very seamless and add together. I'm going to go right back up through the red, across the blues. Again, always in that right angle weave series. From here, I know I'm going to go through these blues because that's the first side of the next box. How do you know if you're doing right angle weave correctly? Is that when you look in the center of your right angle weave here, there are no threads that sit in the center here. Between each section and box, you have thread that's connecting the sides, but that middle sits open. So if you're looking at it, you have that nice section of middle open where you have no thread showing. If you have thread showing, there's something in your right angle weave that you're doing. Generally, you're going from one bottom to another bottom versus staying in your block and then building off of that as well too. So I'm going to continue going on here, quick adding these together, and then I'll add a little bit more length onto my bracelet before I show you how we embellish. Once you're done with your base, it is time to embellish. I'm using some 15-0s and some 3mm bicones in the Crystal AB color. I'm coming out one of this side. So I'm coming out my blue bead here, and I'll sew from left to right just so I can show you because I'm going on. I like to embellish before I put on my clasp just because sometimes it changes my clasp idea. And I'm going to add a 15, a 3mm bicone, and a 15. You can use a 2, 3, 4 here. It's very forgiving. We're going to go on a diagonal. So we're going from the top of the blue line on the right to the bottom of the blue line on the left, and then sewing up. That's going to sit that 15, crystal 15, right on top, repeating 15, crystal 15. I'm coming out the top of the blue. I'm going into the bottom of the next blue. And right along the top. Now, this will start to have a little bit of curve in the bracelet because of this. Don't worry about it. It'll straighten up as we continue to go. We're going to do each of our rows, and we're going to make sure that all of our bicones sit in the same direction. So go ahead down, do this one, and then we'll come back and do the middle. At the end of this row here, I have my first row of my embellishment, and I want to go on to the second row. Now, where my needle and thread is coming out is it's coming out at the top, or at the bottom rather, of that blue side. I need to get it down to the bottom of the second row. Excuse me. And I know that I'm going to put a clasp on here, so I'm going to use a seed bead to hide the thread as I jump from one row of my right angle weave to the other. Going down, putting on a blue bead to kind of close up that end there. And now I'm coming out through the bottom of this blue section here. Now I want to come out the top. So you're going to have to circle around to get your needle in place here. Because when I'm doing this, again, I want it to look identical. So I need to be coming out the top of the blue. We're gonna fake it for this first one, and we're actually gonna come out the top of the red. Once we get that one in then, and we do our silver, crystal, silver, so they're all facing the same way, we're going to the bottom of that left-hand side now, coming up, and then when you look at your crystal, it is facing the same way. Now we're in the position where we're coming out of the blue at the top and we're going into the blue in the bottom, just like we did. So that's going to finish and keep going for row number 2. So I'm done row number 2, and these are all lining up with the crystals all going on the diagonal. We need to get over to start row number 3. I'm going to go up through the right angle weave. Always, anytime I'm working with right angle weave, I sew on the right angle weave. I'm going to go back through to this red row here, and then down to the bottom row of the blue. When I'm here at the bottom row of the blue, I am ready to do my diagonal. I'm going to add my 15, my crystal, my 15, and then as I sew on the angle here, I'm going to come up to the blue and sew down, up, down, up, down. And that'll get that same line of crystal on the project. So go ahead and come back down row number 3, and then we'll get ready to add the clasp. All right, so I have all of my embellishment done. The bracelet looks great, ready to wear for the 4th of July parade. Love the way that it looks. Now, what I need to do is, or what I want to do is close up the right angle weave. So if you see here, I added an 11-0 between each of these right angle weave units in the earring. We're gonna do the same thing along the bottom of the bracelet and along the top of the bracelet. I'm coming out the side here of my blue, and I'm gonna get ready to go straight down the end of the bracelet. I'm gonna add some reds, and this is where I'm gonna go in and add my clasp as well too. I'm gonna come in here, I'm gonna add one of my 11-0 seed beads in the red color, go through the red, popping that corner on there, add a red. Go through the 3 red that are already there. Add a red. Go through the 3 that are already there. Now I'm not adding any in the middle, going down through the lines. I'm just going to go along the bottom and the top, adding in the red beads and connecting that bottom red line of the right angle units. So I'm going to use an infinite clasp on my piece. You can use a red cab with it. You can use a silver, obviously whatever color you want. But we're coming down through, so I put my 11 on the corner there, and I'm coming down and I have my blues. I'm going to do the same thing along the blue end, coming out the 3 blue. I'm going to go through bead number 1 and bead number 2 of that next line of 3. I'm going to add 1 of my red, go through my clasp, making sure as I'm going through my clasp that it is going to sit correctly. So I want it so that it's going to face up, because there is a directional method to this bracelet. Add another red, and then we're going to go back through that middle 11-0. That's going to pull that in towards the piece, and I'm going to do the same thing. Reinforcing, going through the middle here, going down through the side, through that blue, and then through the next blue as well. From here, I'm going to add 1 more blue, go down through the next 3 blue at the bottom row of this right angle weave. Now, because I'm not coming back up the project, I want 1 more strand to go through here. I'm going to put on my red bead for my corner. I'm going to go through the first 3 red beads. Don't worry, I'm going to come back. I'm going to go through the right angle weave here, through the right angle weave here. 1, 2, and 3 red beads. As I come up here, now I'm going to go in and reinforce the clasp. Going through beads number 1 and 2 that sit in the middle of row number 2. Up through the clasp. And then as I come down, making sure my thread's not twisted at all and I'm not seeing it. Right there, I see it twisted around the clasp. I'm going to make sure to untwist that. And then we're going to go down through the row. Down here. Through that middle bead again. Through the bead that's after it as well. And then we're going to come down through that right angle weave. We're going to go down through the sides. Down through the middle. Right angle weave again, super forgiving. You're just sewing down through it. Right out the side right here. Through those 3 beads and out. And there we go. Now we're down the corner. So I'm going to go through those 3 beads. Going to go through the red bead that sits at the corner, and then right down through, we're going to create our red line. And I just want to show you before we do the bottom what that difference looks like. So you don't have to create the line. It's up to you. But this one I'm going to create the line along the bottom. Likewise, if you want to, you can also create a line here. I'll put the reds here just to give you an idea. You can create a line down the middle there where there is no break in the reds, just going straight down through, keeping it to the top of the project. Again, I'm just doing the bottom and the top, running now right through, and then I get to the other side, I'm going to use my tongue on the opposite side of the bracelet. After attaching your clasp to the other side, I'm actually at the point where I have my original gold starter bead. I'm going to use my hands and just lightly take that off the thread. I have my thread and needle right there at the same spot. You'll notice I'm on the back of the bracelet, and any of the thread that I attach to, I always try to bring to the back of the bracelet. I'm going to tie these 2 thread ends together. Right over left, left over right, and then also I circle the thread end through the loop that I've created in the knot, doing a sewer's knot 2 times. Nice tight knot there. And because my thread and needle are still together and on, I'm going to go down into the right angle weave to try to pull the knot a little bit in towards the project. Then you go in with your thread burner or your thread zap, burn that thread end down, again down towards the back of the project, here as well towards the back of the project, and then burn those thread ends flat against, without burning the thread that's currently holding the project together. That's kind of the key. From there, your Freedom Bracelet is completed. Again, it's nice that it's kind of almost has that kind of pixelated look to it, that it has the triangles along with the crystals and your Potomac clasp as well. Hope you have fun making this in whatever colors you decide to do. Thanks so much for joining me in creating this Freedom Bracelet. It's really fun to create and make and have all of these different colors that line up as well. Remember, if you need any supplies, look below the video. In the description, we have links there so you can get back to our website. As always, share your picture of your finished product in our Facebook group for beading and jewelry making. Thanks so much for joining, and stay tuned for more inspirational designs.